The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised. Good morning. It's Friday. Welcome to the Ladies Room. I'm Brenda.
It's your girl, KB.
We're Morris Media Live. What's going on? What's happening?
A very long week this week.
I know. It was really, really a tough week. And you know what? Still
celebrating your birthday.
I know. I feel so guilty now. I know. And it was last month. I'm into another person's month now. But, it just is what it is. But I've still been having a fantastic time, enjoying myself. I had an opportunity to go out and see Jeff Arnold on Wednesday night. And he did a really fabulous job. I wanted to say that. I was impressed. My daughters are not impressed, especially Khadijah. And she was totally like, Mom, he's good.
Oh, okay.
He was really good. Yeah. So he came, a couple people came out. It was nicely packed. He did a really good job. So I want to give a shout out to Jeff Arnold. Thanks for the invite.
He is funny. He
was so funny. Man. But I was just glad. I had a great time, and that was Wednesday night. So, then the whole week has just been busy.
Well, I couldn't show up on Wednesday because Aiden broke his elbow. So,
oh my God.
And the football season just started. So.
Not my sweetie.
Yeah, he broke his elbow. So he has a fracture.
How long is he going to be out?
For 4 weeks. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's going to be tough. And then this morning he was already complaining that his elbow was, it's itchy,
Did he got the cast on yesterday?
He got the cast on yesterday, so I had to get the hanger and,
do the whole little old-fashioned stuff.
I'm his personal nurse right now.
He'll remember it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my baby. Oh, so they said 4 weeks, so he's going to miss like 4 games.
Well, after he gets the cast off, then the doctor has to assess it, of course, and then he said he has to work it back up, so it might be a little over 4 weeks. We'll see.
But he's young, so they heal easily and quickly, and so everything's good on the home front. All the children, everybody's fine.
Yeah,
everybody's doing their thing. I made plans to go out and see Corral.
Oh, when?
Yeah, I'm going to go next month.
Okay, good for you.
I'm going to go next month. I'm going to definitely go. I'm missing a family and friends night, which is Saturday, but that's my class reunion night. So I'm debating if I'm going there or not. But totally, I'm going out to see my youngest son.
That's good.
So I'm kind of happy and excited about that. And everything else has just been super good.
Yeah.
Coins.
Coins.
It's pretty good. So who's your lady of the week?
My lady of the week, I chose Debbie Allen. Excuse me. Debbie Allen. Of course, she's an award-winning choreographer, actress, director. You name it, she's done it all. And I'm losing my voice. She was just recently won an award for, Lifetime Achievement.
Okay. She's doing good.
Sorry, you guys. I'm losing my voice. Just sitting in front of the fan.
No, Debbie is the lady. She has her history, her resume, her discography.
Everything she puts her hands
is just
on.
off the hook here. Actually, when Khadijah first started dancing, I think she was 3. And she auditioned at Debbie Allen's studio in Culver City. It was like 560 something girls that auditioned, and only 90 made it. And my little sweetie pie was one of the 90. She was one of the youngest dancers, but she danced at Debbie Allen for years, you know. And then we went over to Lula. She got a scholarship for Lula. So
we went to Lula's.
Yeah, I love Lula.
But yeah, we went to Lula's. I like Lula too.
No, Khadijah was like, Mom, if we're getting a scholarship, does that mean it's free? I was like, yes. She's like, okay, we've paid Debbie enough money. But I love Debbie because she was really she is as she is.
And I remember her from Fame.
No, but as she really, that's how she teach her class from Fame. Like she
Lydia
really,
Grant.
Yes, she really was her. I mean, like, if I remember being there one Saturday and one of the girls came in late, stumbling around, she just politely asked her to pick her stuff up and walked her to the door and was like, you know what, you obviously don't want to be here and I don't want to take your mom's money and waste my time. And she escorted her out. I was like, oh my God, be on time.
That's very important. But I want to go on to say, excuse me, that she was appointed as a member of the President's Committee by George Bush in 2001. For her contributions to the television industry, Debbie Allen was honored in 1991 with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Okay.
I don't remember that, but on Hollywood Boulevard, of course. And she is the wife of Norm Nixon and the sister of Felicia Rashad. Okay. And you know, all these years, I thought that she was the older sister. Felicia Rashad is the older sister.
No, she is. You didn't know that?
I didn't know that.
She looked a little older than Deb, to me.
No, I thought the opposite. I thought Felicia Rashad looked younger.
No, I thought she looked a little bit older, but those sisters, and they came up and they did it, and you have to just really, that is a woman who has empowered not only herself, but she has also empowered others.
So many others.
So that is so important, and it's important for us to understand our history and who she really is, so that we can appreciate her. And that's through dance. Starting with dance,
but directing,
being behind the cameras,
all of that directing,
producing, being a mother, and a wife. So it's challenging.
It's very challenging. And she does it well.
No, she did her thing.
She did her
and married Norm Nixon with his cute self.
Yeah,
and he's still cute in his older age.
Yeah, she's not. She's still beautiful as well too. So yeah, big ups to Debbie Allen.
Oh, that was awesome. I think what we're gonna do is take a commercial break right now.
Okay,
and then we're gonna come back with our special guest. We have Lamont Wheat in the house today. Ooh. And I'm just excited to have him here to share.
Too. And we're going to debut his video. Sorry, again.
Yeah, we're going to debut his video on our show, The Ladies Room.
I'll see you in a minute.
back to the ladies' room. It's Friday, and we have a wonderful guest in the house.
Yes, we're joined today by award-winning singer and songwriter Lamont Wheat.
Oh, my God.
So, Lamont, I really would like for you to tell our listening audience just a little bit about your journey to right here, where you are.
Well, first off, I'd like to acknowledge you both for having me on the show. Thank you so much. I know we're going to have a great time.
Yes.
A little bit about me. I am originally from East Texas, a small town called Kilgore, which once was an oil capital. They had a huge oil boom there in the 40s. And Kilgore is also known for the Rangerettes, so a lot of people know them from the Macy's Day Parade. It happens every year. So that's where I'm from, a little small town. I have 4 other siblings. I'm the middle child. 2 sisters and 2 brothers. Family
Just like me.
style.
I'm the same way, the middle child.
You guys have that syndrome, huh?
Right.
I didn't believe it at first. But.
Right. And so I moved out to Los Angeles in 2006 to just be closer to the creative industry. My background as a business executive has been in information technology, so I did that for many years, working for Carlos Slim, a retail store called CompUSA. You guys might remember that.
Yeah, I remember CompUSA.
But I'm an artist, so I moved west. It was the best decision I made. I've loved being out here, and I've had an amazing opportunity to create music with some amazing people and actually live out the dream that I envisioned before I arrived here.
Okay, so your dream is to become a world-renowned singer.
Yeah, so music has always been a passion for me. I started singing very young. My grandmother played the piano in church. As you guys know, Texas is considered the Bible Belt.
The Bible Belt, yes.
So we were in church Monday through Sunday, and what really captivated me about that was the choir. I love the music. I love the choir. I love how emotion was conveyed through song, people's testimony, right? I really like that storytelling, basically. And I discovered within myself the ability to sing. My father was a singer, but he was shy to sing in public. And so I made a commitment that I would always express my gift and be in service with the talent that I've been blessed with.
Okay, that's so awesome.
That's nice.
You know, and I want you to touch, we're going to get back to the singing and to your music, but one of the things that was fascinating was the group that you're involved in, and it's called...
You're talking about the mindfulness group.
Yes. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Okay, great.
How was that? How did that get started, and how did you
even get involved with that?
Yeah, so I am a self-mastery coach. For me, I've had many transformative experiences in my life that have expanded my awareness around those things that matter. And what I've discovered in working with other people and being an executive and working with companies and other high-performing individuals is that we all have a lot of the same concerns that we want to work through. You know, these are just human conditions, right?
Give us an example.
And so for example, we all want to be successful, right? And so we work hard, and you guys probably know the cliche of making it happen.
Yes.
And a lot of people are trying to make it happen. And so what I discovered is that who we are and the gifts that we've been blessed with, we don't have to make anything happen. We have to allow ourselves to be in the moment, allow ourselves to embrace the experience and cause things to happen. So, being a cause in the matter of our lives. And so for me, understanding what I'm contributing my energy to, what I'm contributing my thoughts to, a lot of people get caught in negative thoughts, and those negative thoughts create a negative experience that they live into. So mindfulness is about being mindful about those things that matter. What would we like to experience versus what we would not like to experience, and focus more on what we would like to experience versus what we don't really want to experience. And so mindfulness really helps us overcome those things that are negative in our lives.
Okay, I appreciate that. I really appreciate that thought. And I think it goes along with, I think one of my ladies of the week said, one of the quotes was, know yourself on purpose. So you know who you are, and if you know who you are, then your mindset can be of what it is that I'm trying to achieve, because I know who I am and I know what I want, and it has to be of a positive nature so that we can get a positive result.
Absolutely.
And you focus solely on that.
On what you, that's right, what you want and what you don't want. And mindfulness is really important because it can be tricky for a lot of people to understand the concept. For example, you've probably heard the notion that your greatest fears can be your worst nightmare, right? And what happens is when you live in a state of fear, then your programming in your mind is focused on what that outcome might be from a place of fear,
right?
And you actually are creating and then living into that inevitably. So being mindful is you're mindful where your mind is going, and you're choosing not to entertain those thoughts and actually shift on thoughts that you actually would desire to live into.
The positive.
Yes,
I like that
aspect.
I really do like that. So how did you get involved with this?
So I had some transformative experiences. I was working with a coach in 2011, and she was giving me some concepts. I had been successful as an executive. I had released music. I had recorded with Jennifer Hudson and done some other things, but I felt like I was hitting a ceiling, right? That I wasn't getting to the next level. And so I was working with this coach, and she was giving me some distinctions about how we're creating our world. And one of the notions that she gave me was, she said everyone has an it. Right? And she said your it doesn't care about happiness, joy, success. It only cares about whether you're looking good, and it will give you notions that will protect you and make you look good, right? It may not be the truth, but it'll tell you to do things and say things and be a certain way to project that you are something that maybe you're really not. And she told me that when she made the notion that it didn't care about your happiness or success, but only that you look good, I kind of disagreed with that, and I said, well, mine sings to me every morning, right? Because when I wake up in the morning, there's a song in my head, right? And so she just commented, sing back to it, right? So I went home that night, I went to sleep, I woke up the next morning, I was supposed to do an assignment that she gave me to do, and it was like midnight when I got home, and I said, I'll just get up and do it in the morning. So when I woke up the next morning, I had a song playing in my head, and simultaneously, I heard I told her. And that was when I made the distinction of my ego, if you will, saying, wanting to be right. I told her that it sings to me. But when I heard those two thoughts simultaneously, I was curious as to who am I that could hear both of those thoughts, the music and this identity that wanted to be right.
Yeah, that wanted to be right.
Wanted to be right.
But did you follow the instructions what she gave you, which was to sing back?
Sing back to it.
Well, what I did is when I was so blown away when I heard the two thoughts in my head simultaneously, and I wanted to understand who am I that's listening to both of those? And that created a journey of mindfulness. That created a journey of awareness of what have I been programming myself all these years that have prevented me from the successes that I desired.
Exactly.
And if I wasn't aware previously of the notion of I told her so, being a program to me to vindicate that I was right and maybe she wasn't. What else had that voice told me that stopped me from achieving and accessing and being living into what I desired?
And I understand that because I do understand the voice that lives within us.
Yes.
But the key factor, I think one of the key factors is, are we paying attention to it?
Are we paying attention?
And are we responding to it accordingly?
And response is really convoluted as well, because there is choice response and then there's reaction. Reaction sometimes occur through conditioning, and we don't even know that we're taking these actions.
Right.
For example, if you're driving to work and you create that I'm going to be in service to people, I'm going to be uplifted and happy today. You wake up and that's what you create. And on your way to work, someone cuts you off. If you reactionarily shift out of what you said you were going to be, which is uplifted, happy and joyful, and now you're frustrated. Opposite. That was a reaction. And did you choose that or did you react? So mindfulness lets you be aware of what you're reacting to, and then all you can choose, right?
I like that. I like that a lot.
I think once you get the reality of the mindfulness and it's playing in your mind, in your actions, it becomes norm. It becomes norm, but you have to get there, though.
That's right.
You have to get there. So, tonight I say, oh, you know what, I'm going to be mindful. Then tomorrow someone cuts me off and I react. I'll give myself that because I know that it takes time for transformation and for growth.
Absolutely.
But it is about the seed being planted and that it is in our minds and that we know that we should
you're mindful
do
of
better.
it.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm with the mindfulness because I think that's important, that we all should think before we speak. Take a couple seconds and just think about what we're about to say. And that's difficult.
And then say it.
It's a difficult because we react.
Yeah, well, you said a powerful word, which is transformation. And many people don't get that we are the ones that create the transformation within ourselves.
Absolutely.
And if we are conditioned a certain way and we're always reacting the same way to the same stimulus, then we're going to be in a cycle.
We're in a cycle.
When we take our power and we choose a different action, then we do live into a different outcome, a different reality. And that's very powerful. And to your point, sometimes we get caught off guard and we've reacted and we're in the midst of it. However, mindfulness gives us a tool that even if we react in a moment, once we're mindful that we just reacted, we can choose in that moment
to change it. Yes.
Yeah.
No, I really understand where you're coming from, because I think it may have been 2.5 years ago, I had a reality of my own, which was, who am I? And what am I doing? I mean, I've raised 6 children. I've been in this situation for many, many years. And now I was just, having the time of my life. And in the midst of me having the time of my life, that little voice came in and said, Brenda, who are you? Who are you?
Yes.
Who are you now? You know what I mean? Is this how you started off? 40 years ago, before children, before a man. What was my goal? But I laid there and I was listening to classical music. I love classical, in the right place, right time. But I was enjoying myself, and I had this room, so I had classical music going on. The atmosphere was beautiful, and I'm having the time of my life. And here's this reality of who am I. So it made me start doing a little soul searching and saying that I need to transform to become the best of who I am after I recognize who am I and what do I want.
That's a great question to ask, and a lot of people never contemplate that for themselves. Who am I? And reflecting what you just said, when I heard those two distinctive notions, I had to question, who am I that's even
thinking that
aware of this? That there is an aspect of me listening to those two playing out. Who is that?
Yes.
How powerful is that aspect of me, and what can that aspect create?
Exactly.
And when I got that, I really wanted to support others in knowing what's possible for themselves, what they've done in their lives that are creating vicious cycles that they continue to live into, and how to step out of those cycles.
And that's very important.
That's very important. I was going to say, no, that's very important, because, like, for me, I'm transforming. I'm still in that state of transforming. So having a mindful mindset, it puts a lot of things into perspective. Like,
no, it really does.
The outcomes that I want, and
it's a transformation. It is becoming.
Yes.
It is. We are growing and achieving, and first thing is acknowledging that a change is necessary.
Yes.
Or even getting the awareness that you received from the two voices to say, okay, I'm just powerful where I can have these two thoughts simultaneously.
And I'm observing them.
And
I'm just observing these.
Part of the conversation is to be able to receive it, because we're so busy and we have been accustomed to living a certain way, doing a certain thing, and never having that time to sit back and absorb
the pause.
The pause.
To just
the
pause.
stillness.
Yes, to just pause.
Just pause. And it's necessary that we do that to recognize ourselves sometime, because we will get lost. We spoke on this a lot of Kim, in regards to getting lost with family. And allowing other people to be in control of your destiny, not purposely.
Reaction.
No,
it's reaction.
Yeah,
yes,
reaction.
because now I'm a mother, so my job, my first priority is to make sure that this child is right, or this is done, or everything is more important.
You're no longer the priority.
Yes.
It shifts.
It shifts, but it shifts back to me. Trust me.
The thing about it is the notion of being whole, perfect, and complete. And when you say that, most people would say, okay, wholeness, I would like to be that. Nobody's perfect. That's a condition. And complete, what does complete mean? So I like to start by coaching people on what whole is, meaning you hear people in relationships that say, this is my other half or my better half, or this person completes me. Well, you have to be 100% who you are. And even as a mother, that doesn't define the totality of who you are.
Exactly.
It's an aspect, right?
No, true.
And so then that's being whole, realizing that you are whole, and anything that you would say isn't whole is a condition that you're creating and believing in and giving power to. So you can let go of that and say, I am whole.
I'm whole.
Perfect is, we would say that if something's wrong or something needs to be fixed or something needs to be changed, then it's not perfect. If we hold that we're not perfect, then we would say something's wrong with us. We need to be fixed. We're not good enough. So we have to let go of that programming and get that we are perfect just as we are, from moment to moment to moment to moment to moment, right? And then complete. Complete means that whatever it is that you are having a conversation or you're up to, that you get complete with it. You don't leave it open. It's like if you open your phone and you have all these apps open and it's moving slow.
Right.
In order to speed it up, you have to do what?
Delete some of the apps.
You got to close some of those apps. You got to get complete. If you've already navigated to where you need to go, why leave the map app open? Close that app.
We're done with
and restore some power. So that's getting complete. So being whole, perfect, and complete.
Okay, I get that. I understand the wholeness, but let's go back a little bit before we even get to the wholeness, because now, in order for us to receive the mindfulness, to be able to have those thoughts, to be able to be whole, perfect, and complete, we have to recognize that it's a necessity. And so at what point do people realize
to come to
that,
grips that, oh, hey, I need this change?
Even though we know change and transforming and becoming is a necessity in this life, but we are so busy with the everyday part of it and the cycle and the reaction that how do you tell someone, you know what, you need a little bit of help in this area?
I'm sorry. No, I was going to say, because it's hard for a lot of people to pause. You know what I mean? Like if you have families, there's not a lot going on. So how do you?
So conditioning is one of the notions that we mentioned. So for example, if someone's always operating with all their apps open, let's just say social media. They got Instagram open, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, all of them are open. They're like, that's their world. And they believe that is who they are. That defines them. They want the perfect shot out. But then there's all these other aspects. They may be a mother with kids at home and they got to get them to school and buy school supplies. And so, but they're so focused that this is who I am. I'm limited to this. I want people to see me as this, right? So it's not so much about us telling people what they need to do, but being an example, right? So I would share with people that who I am is a son, is a husband, is a musician, is a business executive, is a self-mastery coach. I'm all of these things. I'm not defined
by one.
Just by
one of them. I can choose and shift and be any of those.
Okay.
When people see that example, then they contemplate, am I also that? And they start looking at their lives and they see that they're not only a social media brand. There are all these other things too. And when people start walking into the truth of who they are and what they've created, they begin to transform.
No, I understand that point because, as I said earlier, when I had that experience with the classical music and who am I, it brought on questions for me to say, Brenda, okay, I'm not just this, and I'm not just a mom. I'm not just a relationship 40 years. I'm not just the entertainment manager. I am more than that.
You're a creator, you're a collaborator, you're an inspiration.
All those things, yes, all those things. I own all that. But I do, and I also want to go back with the complete. I had another experience with completion.
Yes.
And I said that it made me choose a word a month for myself. Rather, it's one of the words was completion. That means I need to complete everything that I start. I need to put the keys on the rack when I walk in the door because I know that when I need them again, they're going to be on the rack.
Yes.
So that completion thing is very important.
It's powerful.
Very important because then it shows your movement. It shows your growth.
Yes.
It shows what you've done. I have a visionary board that is labeled with everything that I'm working on and everything that I want to work on. And I have execution dates up there. And if I don't complete things by that date, I feel some kind of way. You know, I feel I don't always get it done, but I really try my best to complete it. So completion, I want to say, is just so... It's fabulous, and you have to have it in your life because it shows your movement. It shows what you've done, and it also shows what you haven't done.
It absolutely does. For completion, for me, is not so much about the tangible or this real experience that we say we can touch and feel it. It's more about the notion of knowing that there's nothing left to say, there's nothing left to be done, and the person that I have a collaboration with, we're both complete. There's nothing in the space that's been undone or inauthentic. For me, my lesson in getting complete was with my father. My father was a Vietnam vet. He self-medicated and ultimately died in 2008. I had a tumultuous relationship with him because there was expectations that we have about what a father should do and be responsible for. And I didn't understand his condition, right? He was drafted when he was 19. He served in Vietnam. He was the only survivor from his brigade. He's a Purple Heart. He came back addicted to drugs. And you guys may know the traumas of Vietnam with PTSD. So that's who my father was. But I didn't see that. I only saw the expectation of what we would say a father is. And a lot of people exist with this as well because they are offspring of a veteran. So for me, getting complete was acknowledging who my father was. He was a man that created me. He was a man that loved my mother. He was a man that loved his family and community. However, he had his conditions and his stuff he had to work with. For me, getting complete is acknowledging him for that and realizing who he is an access for me to know what's possible, what people can overcome, what people can get through. And my father, now being complete, we have such a great relationship in spirit. Like I can draw from who he was and his strength and his tenacity to continue going. But I had to get complete with all of my stuff that I made up about him, which that wasn't his stuff, that was my stuff. I had to get complete with in order to unconditionally love who he is.
So basically accepting him for who he was and just pulling the things necessary for you to pull from him.
What was in service for my growth and my knowing and my expansion.
So did you figure that out before he died, or did it take his death?
I figured out letting go right before he died. We had a conversation. He told me about his struggles. He told me why he was using drugs, why he would never really want to quit. Ultimately, he died. However, after he died, and in 2011, after I had this earth-shattering experience with I had to go back and look at my life and see some of the isms and conditions I had created around myself that allowed me to, or prevented me from connecting to others, right? So if someone had an abuse issue, I made a story about them and I would not really get to know that person because of what I made about my father, that I would put them in the same boat. So when we don't get complete, that incompletion kind of rules our lives, and we really don't even know. We're like prejudging people and really not getting access to what's possible because of those conditions and not being complete.
Okay, and so I think that with that being said, that should bring each of us, once we have that experience and once we work with completion, to become a better individual, because that's what it is.
That's a byproduct.
That's what it is.
The byproduct of being whole, perfect, and complete is fulfillment, is unconditional love, is happiness, is ease. These are byproducts when you are complete.
Complete, yes. And I think that that's important. For the father, I think that when we do have those experiences, and anybody, all of us really have a story to tell about our history, our past, our parents, whatever, we didn't like this or this happened or that happened. But that also, now I understand it as completion, but it was also could be identified as you have to be able to forgive people for what you think they've done to you.
And that's part of completion.
Completion, yes.
That's right.
That's what is now, that's what I just mentioned, is that I like the completion part, but it is up under forgiveness as well. Because until you can forgive and let go of it, I mean, I'm not going to say I necessarily forgive everybody, but I'm going to say this. I let go of everything to become who I am right now at this moment. I said, that's not my issue. That's not what my mom did. It's not. I tried to do a little bit different. I had enough sense to know that, okay, let's try it a little bit different.
Yeah.
Let's give a little bit more. I'm not going to walk in those same footsteps in regards to what I think a good relationship, parent-child relationship should be, because my mom was not that. But I overboard with it because I think it's important. And when you know what you missed, you know what to give. And then I knew how to let go of the things that I thought my mom had did that wasn't right, not being the parent that I see myself as. But I let it go, and I said, I'm going to be better. I'm going to be a better sister. I'm going to be a better mother. I'm going to be a better friend. I'm going to be a better individual off of I piggybacked off of what my mother didn't do.
And I contribute that to your ability to reach your goals by you forgiving and letting go.
Because that completion, like you said, allows all that good energy to come in. And once that good energy starts coming in, if you don't hear anything else I tell you throughout this whole programming, when you allow yourself to allow positive energy to come into your world, when you allow it, it really fulfills you. It fills your life up. Everything around you turns to whatever you want it. So from your opening statement to this, I'm in agreement with it because I've lived it. The minute I became completely positive about anything and everything,
choosing to be positive, because there's always the options to not be positive, right?
That's true.
But I don't know about that
once
part.
that anger steps in, I have a problem with controlling my anger at times. Sometimes.
No, you kick it out because
I'm working on it.
It's not going to define you.
So what So in coaching, when I coach on two different things, you talked about anger and controlling anger. Mm-hmm. Anger is not to be controlled; it's just to be acknowledged.
Okay.
But it's also to be contemplated. What is the root of your choosing anger? Because anger is just, there's anger in this space right now, and you can navigate through it and create a world that would have you be angry. Right? Mm-hmm. We're human beings, which means we get to choose our being. You talked about forgiveness. I always coach that forgiveness first starts with forgiving yourself, because if there's any negative emotion that you have towards someone or a situation, you have to get that you created a meaning around what you gave power to that is negative. So you have to forgive yourself for that first.
Okay, let's go in right here. I want to go in right here.
Yes, let's go in.
Because I don't wake up in the morning and say that I want to be mad today. You know what I mean?
We don't.
I don't. But I do believe cause and effect. And I do believe that some people can push those buttons on you to create a reaction that can be anger. You can't, we're not just waking up angry. So there are other people that are around you now. Like you said, we have the choice. Do I want to take this anger in with what they're saying? Or do I want to go to my higher self and say, you know what, I'm not going to feed into that. And let me figure out what's positive about this situation.
Well, try this. Actually go to your higher self and say, what is the opportunity for me in this experience?
Okay.
That would be mindful to pause in the midst of the situation, whatever someone's doing, feeding you, how they're being, that's triggering something in you.
Keyword.
Is to pause, mindful, and say, what is this experience that I'm living into in service to for me?
No, I
what
understand.
Is it? Right?
No, I get it, because now I have learned through being mad, if someone makes me mad, then I will stop and ask myself, why did that make me upset?
Yes.
Why am I upset behind that? Why is that affecting me? So I do get that. Mm-hmm. But my whole point is going back to that initial situation where I didn't wake up angry. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And now if you said something or done something to make me go to that level of anger.
I want you to get that no one can make you.
Because it's giving them your power.
That's
I know,
right.
but what we're saying, what I'm saying is cause and effect. At that moment, and then the reaction, I get the reaction. But here's the cause. Somebody gets up, and when I wake up in the morning, it's good morning.
Yes.
It's good morning. Let's meditate. What's the day going to bring? I'm happy. You know what I mean? I'm living my best life. But when someone interjects something that is of a negative nature, I do know how to handle it, and I do have to handle it. But for those that don't, it's cause and effect, and you can't just be, going from 0 to 1,000 quick to I'm still at a 0. Even though you said some things to me.
Got it. So yes, we do live in a cause and effect experience. However, cause and effect is also in the law of attraction, which means what we're putting out, we're attracting into our experience, which means if you've attracted into your experience, it would behoove you to inquire, why is this experience in service to me now? Why is it showing up in this way that I get the lesson? So in that notion, no one can make you mad. There is still a plethora of choices for you to make in the midst of a situation.
I know, but once you have developed and you have transformed and you can handle that situation where that's not going to upset me. Mm-hmm. I'm personally at a point where if someone does something to upset me, I'm either going to pull over, walk into another room. I'm going to do something to ask myself, why did this irritate me so bad? Let me find out why that I'm so upset behind what was said or what was done. I'm going to do that. I'm going to dig into that. But for those people that are not on that level yet, it's difficult to just go from, like I said, going from 0 to 1,000 to just maintaining 0.
Yeah, so by being mindful of it, that's the beginning part.
That is the beginning.
And the beginning part of being mindful is to acknowledge that you need to be mindful. Mm-hmm. And most people that need to be mindful are not.
But that's the first step. We
got to be mindful. So my whole question, going back to my initial question earlier, I'm sorry.
I promise we're going to get to my all.
But I'm going back to the initial, is that individual that is not in that space where they understand what mindful can do for their lives. People don't understand that. That's why everybody's mad.
So it's important that we pay it forward. We're doing that now. I think everyone that's watching this show is getting something out of it, and I know people are going through their own personal Rolodex to see what it is that triggers them, and could they choose a different option? Do they have the power to choose?
The power.
And so mindfulness actually gives you access to that you are the power.
Mm-hmm. You are the power. We are the power.
And if you're reacting to things, that's what you've given your power to. You got to reclaim your power back so that it has nothing. Right? When you're complete, someone acting crazy in your face has You're not giving any power to that.
Okay.
You're acknowledging that who and where they are. You get to be in service to them now by showing them. You're not going to give them the reaction that they typically get from everyone else, because everyone else is going to react and give them a piece of their mind. But who you are shows them that there is another way, and that's through the work that you're doing, which activates them into what's possible for themselves.
And that's exactly the outcome that we would really want to have. We would really want that. We're working for that reaction from the other individual because you can be as mindful, be thoughtful, not say a word and not indulge, but that other person is still on a ramp, still engaged in their anger, and be mindful of that part.
I'm going to give you this point, and I hope this helps everyone. So everything is energy and everything vibrates, and this is a universal law. Whatever your vibration is, if you wake up in happiness and joy and you maintain and create that power and you hold that, everything else cannot be in your experience. Like it cannot exist at a vibration that's higher than itself. It has to either raise to that or it has to go out of the experience. So if you maintain your happiness, your peace, your unconditional love, then a person that's irate or furious or angry and they're in your space and you maintain that high vibration, they're out. They're gone. They're leaving.
Are they gone mentally to you or are they physically gone because they're still standing there mad and angry?
Mentally.
So mentally we deal with it.
They will leave. They will physically leave too. They will not be in your experience. Something will come up.
It's uncomfortable for them. The vibration is not right.
When you transform, this is when people drop out of your lives. They're either going to transform with you
or drop off like flies.
I agree with that 100%.
Now, I did want to ask you a question about your music.
Just one more thing. I want to go just one more thing and deal with the mastery. We got a few more minutes, and I want to ask them about the mastery class. So when you say that you teach a mastery class, can you give a little bit about?
Yeah, so I do one-on-one sessions with people. I'm also an executive coach, so I work with high-performing individuals that are managing a whole lot of different personalities and individuals. I've worked with clinical psychologists to unload all of what they take on when they're dealing with clients. So it's just an opportunity to have a coach, a mentor to support. We just had a session here, actually, right? You gave me your experience and your stops and how you, and we just shared. We just had a conversation. We're not condemning each other or breaking each other down. We're just having a conversation that gives us an access point to what else is possible.
Okay, that's so awesome.
So, give your contact information, for people who want to get the master. I can't even talk.
Give our listening audience some information.
How they can reach you.
Yeah, so we actually do that through a mom. A mom is an organization that creates self-mastery. I'm the self-mastery coach. I don't know if you guys can see that, but you can actually go to uhmum.com, and you can actually book a session there.
Okay, all right. Nice. So are they pretty reasonable? Mm-hmm. Okay, and prices is each one negotiable, or?
Well, it depends on what a person is seeking, what they want help in. If it's personal, if it's work related, it just really depends.
Okay, and how long does the session normally last?
So we typically do a 2-hour session, up to 2 hours for your first session, just to get an understanding of what it is that a person would like to achieve, what they would like to transform into or out of, and then from there we create a program.
Nice.
Okay, that's awesome. Really so now, Kim, let's introduce the music and let's talk about.
I wanted to ask you, what age did you start singing?
So I started singing very early. I can remember playing the ukulele and singing at a high school program in the second grade. And
East Texas, baby.
You're right, from East Texas, right? Down in the country, I guess at the time when I was in school, "Don't Fence Me In" was popular, and whoever the teachers will teach you what they like.
Yeah,
so she liked that song. She taught it to the whole class, gave us a ukulele, and here we are.
Okay, that's awesome.
Whatever works.
How we tap into it. It's just, as long as we tap into our creativity and understand what it is and utilize it to its fullest.
Absolutely. And my father always listened to blues, and my mom liked B.B. King and Bobby Blue Bland and Denise LaSalle. So that was always in my programming. Motown, from Michael Jackson through Prince and all. That was what I grew up on, and so that really had an impact on me.
Okay, that's awesome.
So I know you mentioned that your dad sung. Mm-hmm. What about any of your other siblings, your mom, anybody else? Oh, just you.
Just me. I'm the only one holding it down.
I'm the only one that got the gift in my family, too.
It's that middle child.
Middle child.
I think sometimes people have the gift, but it may not be cultivated, it may not be developed. They may focus on other things. Yeah. And for me, I just love music. I'm a very creatively expressed person, and music has always been one of those expressions.
It's awesome. Okay. Well, we're here live at the Ladies' Room. You can call in at area code 323-293-3375. And our special guest is Lamont Wheat. And Kim, you're going to introduce his new song?
Well, yes, his debut, which is My All. We got a chance to watch the video. Very nice video. He puts me in the mind of Luther Vandross.
Okay.
I really do enjoy your voice. I was like, hey, I can vibe with it. I can definitely vibe with it.
All right, so we're gonna look at a little bit of it, right? Do we have a clip here?
We do have a clip.
Do you feel it? See, lately I've been feeling things. It's as if my whole world has rearranged. And if I barely knew, now somehow I know it's true that without you in my world, love will never do. It's like a roller coaster ride to the top, like sipping champagne in the coffee shop. Like when you're standing there and she's playing with your hair and you don't even care. Cause when you love somebody, you love somebody, love somebody. I'm giving my all to you. Everything I got, I'm gonna put it on the line for you. I'm giving my all. I'm feeling good about freely giving you my love, yeah. It's like standing in the rain. Showers of love wash away my pain. I will never be the same. I stare into your eyes, then I realize you love somebody, you love somebody, love somebody. I'm giving my all to you. Everything I got, I'm gonna put it on the line. We've come so far now, and it feels so good to freely give my love to you. I'm giving my all. I'm giving my all. I'm giving my all. I give all my love to you, love to you. Every morning when I rise, I'm thankful for all the love you give. And in the middle of the night, I pray to God this will never end. In the middle of the night, I pray to God this will never end. You are my joy.
Fire.
That was fire. I love the rooftop. It was awesome. Welcome back to the Ladies' Room, and we just debuted Lamont Wheat.
My All.
His single, My All. That's fire. It's fire.
I'm digging it. I'm digging the rooftop because it lets us know, get up there.
So where can we get this?
So it's available now, streaming on all media, iTunes, Spotify. You can check out the YouTube on Vivo and YouTube. Okay. You can check out the video. And we'll be doing a video release party at the end of the month here in LA. I'll invite you.
Okay. Hey, we will be there. So I'm going to be bumping this in the car for sure.
Definitely. I love it because I believe it's fulfilling. And when you do give your all to whatever it is, the results are wonderful and beautiful.
So with that being said, what was your inspiration for the song My All?
Yeah, the inspiration, I actually wrote the song in 2012 before I moved to Europe. I had just signed with Roba Music Publishing that's based in Hamburg, and a German producer that I had been collaborating with for a while sent me that track, and I was going through these transformative experiences and discovering what I could really be in contribution to, and that was kind of the inspiration of the song, Give It My All.
Sorry. What would you say your style is?
Soul, R&B with some pop edges.
Soul got a little pop going on, but that was strictly soul.
Yeah. Soul.
Coming from deep down in there.
Yeah. I'm really feeling
digging it. I mean, I think it's bomb.
We got to keep R&B alive. Right?
I know.
We trying.
That's like totally
You're helping. You're helping with this song, My All. That's helping.
I think they are trying to, everything is pop. No, everything
Pretty
is not
much.
pop.
Hip-hop.
But pop.
Yeah.
When it comes down to the singing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how you classify an R&B into pop.
Really?
Well, so, hip-hop has really kind of come and, people aren't singing. They're kind of talking, which that's art as well. It's an artistic expression. But when you got that good soul singing like Marvin Gaye.
I love Marvin.
Lamont Weed.
That soul singing is what's kind of missing. And if you look at a lot of the reality shows like America's Got Talent or X Factor, the artists that make it through are the ones that have that ability to convey emotion soulfully.
That's true.
Okay. Yeah, right. That's awesome. So we are just so grateful to have you sitting here.
I'm glad to be here.
We are starting this off. We want this to go platinum.
Thank you.
Diamond.
Right off the bat.
So we need to figure out how we can make this happen and push it to get there, because it is absolutely a wonderful experience to be able to hear the R&B and to be able to feel the R&B. And I like it.
Yeah. Well, what we have to do is we have to go and make sure that we look at the video, that we share it. I'll be posting updates. I'm on all social media, Lamont Wheat, Lamont, wheat like the grain, and just share the video, share the information. I give a lot of, self-mastery tools and tips to support people in their day-to-day.
Nice.
And I try to infuse that in my music as well.
No, it's important.
It is feel-good music.
It is. And that puts you in a positive state. So that
makes you want to go on a rooftop,
I want to get on the rooftop and just look down so I can say, this is my journey. Look where I've traveled. Look how I got here. So I really appreciate the rooftop scene, because it says a lot.
Yeah, well, we'll have to go back and do a toast.
Yes.
Let's do that.
On the rooftop. Exactly. Yes. I'm digging it. Okay, so is there anything else you want to share in regards to the mastery? Because I'm still stuck on that. I'll dig that.
She's going to be stuck on that for the rest of the day. Trust me.
I know. I'm just digging that, because we have to get to a point where we can master ourselves, and when we understand what the outcome of us being positive, the outcome of us being mindful, what the results of that is, it'll change. It can change the world.
It'll change the world. Yeah, definitely change the world.
We need to be mindful.
Everyone needs to be mindful.
And it's difficult. It's difficult if it's not a part of your everyday life and you're not accustomed to it. But to become mindful, Lamont?
Yeah, at the end of the day, we are a transforming society. I mean, if you look at where we are today in society, I mean, we're inundated with information. We're in the information age, as they say, and we have access to so much. And so it is, I think, important for us to be aware of how all of that data is impacting us.
Right.
And that is an access point for being mindful. Intelligence is how you leverage the information that you have. And if you're not mindful of how you're leveraging or not leveraging or misleveraging information, I think it's an opportunity for us all.
Absolutely.
I totally agree.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm just so excited that you came and spent this time with us.
I brought you guys some Lamont music.
Oh, look at this. I love gifts.
Thank you so much.
Oh, my goodness. I like this.
No, the hat, it has a suede material to it. So then I could rock that, okay? I promise you I have some great suede shoes just like this.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Well, you told me you were working out and staying in shape.
I am.
So when you get up in the morning and you don't want to
I need a hat. I needed this
so
yesterday.
Cute.
I definitely needed this yesterday. I was like,
it has this information on the back, and then it has Lamont Wheat.
I'm gonna send you a picture of me on the treadmill, like Lamont.
I'll probably have it on with some slacks and high heels and pumps.
Yeah, wonderful. So anyone that's out there listening, if you want to get behind the project, help us make this known globally. Just share it. # Team Wheat.
Team Wheat.
Yeah.
I'm doing that. I want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
I really.
Eat your
all
Wheaties
and
# Team Wheat.
The Wheaties with who is on there? Steph Curry.
Oh, is he? I gotta get a box of Wheaties
I think
now.
somebody made the cover of Wheaties. Okay, which is awesome.
Yeah. Oh, so I really do thank you for the hat. And like I said, I am going to join. I'm going to hashtag. And
awesome.
I want to be a part.
No, I want to be a part of the mindfulness.
Yeah, that's what
so you do that, but when I read it on my Facebook page, it says Mindfulness East Texas. So I was thinking that you were in Texas, and the group was in Texas, but we are now here.
Yes,
and how does that work?
So I created the group in East Texas when I was there with my mom in 2014, with just a small group of people. We would meet every Monday at a coffee shop and have mindfulness conversations. However, when I relocated back to Los Angeles, I thought it would be an opportunity to add other people because we were getting requests for other people who wanted to join the group. And so now there's people from all around the world in the group, and it did originate in East Texas, in my hometown.
Nice.
Okay, so now what happens with the group? Do you guys meet, or is it just something you do over social media, or how do you stay part of that?
Yeah, with that group, periodically there is different meetups that we have. For example, right now we're in the midst of a 21-day meditation. Okay. And we've had a couple of meetings with some individuals where we meet up and we do a group meditation together.
Nice.
And just share. So periodically individuals in the group will create a meetup.
Okay. Now, do you guys... Sorry, we keep doing that. Do you guys incorporate diet into it as well? Like, do you guys fast? Do you guys, do a special diet?
Of course. So my husband and I, Joseph, created a Mom Together, and we actually are creating brands and products that you can actually eat. You guys probably remember You Are What You Eat.
Yes, from your head
and
to your feet.
And so we've created products that are whole. We have a mom cookie that is about to be out on the market now that's he created, that is totally healthy. It's all whole. It's non-baked. So we do incorporate things that people can eat that will have them, be what they eat, right? So you want to eat healthy.
So I'm on board for sure now.
Definitely on board. And I just close out with, I'm on board because I have my middle child son has a vegan mobile truck.
Okay,
so
awesome.
It's mega vegan.
Well, we got to get those mom cookies on there.
Okay, that'd be awesome.
Nice. That'd really be nice.
Give someone a healthy treat. We call it a cookie because a lot of people think that if I'm dieting, I can't have a cookie, but this is actually the best cookie on earth to eat.
No sugar?
No sugar. It's all natural.
Okay. All natural. Yeah. That's what we're talking about.
Well, hey, we've been having so much fun. It's time already. Time has come.
Just thank you so much for coming. Our experience of meeting you has been really wonderful, and it has put positive thoughts in my mind, and it has made me think on just a little bit,
things.
Yeah, the next level, just a little bit. I'm already there, but you can always use some improvement.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you, and I appreciate what you've given to others, and I just, from my bottom of my soul, just for somebody to even put out there how mindful we need to be of what we say and what we do is beautiful.
And what she said, but from the moment that I met you, it's like, something about this guy, just really, not, I'm going to say fell in love with you, but just really liked you, connected with you and your partner. We fell in love. Darn it, it's out. We fell in love. But
it's a love affair.
You and your partner. No, but really good people, and you have really good things. Like I said, I'm on board. So I look forward to working with you in the future partner.
Yes, why not?
No, I definitely want to have you come back, and we can do a follow-up and see exactly what the song is doing and all this all the information that it's going to take to move it. I want you to come back, though.
Thank you.
Honestly,
I look forward to coming
back.
We're
looking for that platinum status because we're going to accompany you to the music awards shows. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely. Let's do it. You know, I am releasing. So this is a single off of the album called "We Speak in Lyrics," which should be out later this fall. So we'll absolutely come back and
definitely. And let's get some more songs and let's see what we're doing and do a follow up. And I really want to do a follow up with the mindfulness.
Yes.
I'm going to come to one of the sessions.
You should.
And just see what we can have.
Meditate. Have her meditate all day.
Yeah, we'll do a meditation.
Oh my God, we're out of time.
We are out of time.
I want to say thanks, Lamont.
Yeah, everyone have a great weekend. Thank you for tuning into the Ladies Room.
Morris Media Live.
Bye.
The Consortium of Health and Military Performance, also known as CHAMP, the Uniformed Services University of Health and Science, known as USUHS, is conducting a study to understand a possible genetic link between sickle cell trait, known as SCT, and exercise-related events, known as EREs, such as exertional rhabdomyolysis, muscle damage, heat stroke, and or collapse. We are inviting African-American men and women with sickle cell trait and their family members to participate. Participating in the study will require you to complete a health history questionnaire, a form authorizing our study physician to gather health information from you and your healthcare provider, as well as a one-time blood donation. In order to qualify for the study, you must meet the following criteria: be African American, be sickle cell trait positive, be able to read, speak, and understand English, be between the ages of 18 and 80, and currently not being treated for any mental or psychological disorders. Participation is completely voluntary, and your decision will not impact your healthcare. The results for this study are for research purposes only and are not intended to directly benefit any individual for confidentiality reasons. However, the results of this study are intended to help better shape policies and associated health risks affecting the SCT community. Participants may be compensated for their time. To join the study, or if you would like additional information regarding the study, please contact the study team by phone, area code 240-479-9514, or email sctstudy-ggg@usuhs.edu.